Hello everyone and welcome back. We are playing Golgari once again, and once again we do not have Shieldred in our starting deck list. I know, a big no, but we still have the Tortoise, we still have the Lily, the Preacher, the Sentinel, the Glissa, the Mosswood. I was going to just start ripping every card, but I'm going to stop that because that's cringe, okay? Relax. But mainly we cut it, we wanted to be a lot lower to the ground, and I think we're closing in on, at least as of right now for the current meta, the better end of the deck list in terms of Golgari, and by the better end, the best that the Golgari deck list can get to. I did in the outro mention some cuts, maybe some trims if you really have to play Shieldred, even the point of cutting Glissa and playing Shieldred over it, just because it is what it is. However, I do think one last note before we get into games, I think Sentinel of the Nameless City is probably our best 3-drop overall. I think it really shows out in these games, and shows why it demands to be a 4 of in the deck, so hopefully that will show and convince maybe somebody. But outside of that, let's just go ahead, let's hop in and let the games begin. Oh boy. I mean, sure, why not? We have a lot of lands. We have 3-drops. We have a Nissa. Probably end up getting pitched to a Lily. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. You only have one green though. Kind of the problem, I suppose. Okay. Sorry if I'm sniffling. I'm trying to recover. It's temp. My lymph nodes are like really swollen. That feels great. I'm trying to talk. That also feels great. But we'll figure it out. It's Gruul aggro or Gruul dinos. There's a lot of things it could be. This definitely screams aggro for sure. But now, instead of playing a Liliana, I'm going to go ahead and play the Sentinel of the Nameless City, because they might play a haste creature, they might not play a haste creature. 4 toughness tends to be a kind of a checks and balances when it comes to fighting aggro decks. Like for example, Smoot has first strike here, but cannot attack through our Sentinel. I mean, they could have just attacked if they wanted to, but, you know, I'm not their lawyer. I can't stop them. So let us play a green source here. We could lead off with the Tortoise, which I think would be nice. I do think playing Lily and minusing here on this makes a lot of sense. But I also like playing the Tortoise. Let's play Lily here. The reason I like playing Tortoise is if we can ramp, it feels really nice because then we get like closer to connecting a Nissa with the go for the throat. Oh, I missed out on some damage here, but it'll be alright. Let's crack this. Yeah, just like that, we missed out on a little bit of damage. I'm actually fine with keeping that because it's just more removal against the aggro deck. And I'm also able to just pitch it later to a Liliana if I want to. Let's see. Can you get through my 4/5? Pretty large. Remove an oil counter, vigilance minutes, remove 2 oil counters, gets 2/2, remove 3 oil counters, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Unable to activate that now. It does cost a lot of mana. Let us plus here. Do I even want to? I could just remove both these creatures, right? Maybe that's just better. I could just... Yeah, I don't think I want to plus my Lily. Play this Liliana. Go for the throat. This doesn't really matter which way we do it. Next attack. Take a block they want. I'm actually not too opposed to just leaving that, but let's get it off the board so they can't give it like trample or something. Also, like bringing up one of these lands becomes kind of a problem afterward. Now we'll clear the way for this Nissa. Another Smoot coming down. Now this one definitely can't get through. Phoenix Chick can come over the top, take out Nissa, but takes away their card draw. Is perfectly fine with me overall. Yeah, so we have no land in here. Move to combat. Let's attack. Probably Sentinel of the Nameless City. Just continues to find itself being so good. We'll play the tortoise, hope to hit a land. Didn't. We could have like thinned and tried, but not entirely sold that that's the best option. Anointed with Affliction we'll keep because it does exile. Then I'll probably just end up jamming Anissa regardless. 2 4/4s. This is legendary, so if they have another copy, it doesn't work out well. That's a creature. Axiom Beast, Phoenix, Warrior Cleric. I'm just seeing if Nissa can't minus and kill any of them in regards. Sure. Going with Affliction, exiles 3 mana costs or less, which can be this. Then I can threaten lethal, which forces them to block. So get this off the board. Track map here. Sure. Track a map here. Make it all big. And then we just threaten. We know that's going to go to 5. That's a 5. Smooth's gone. We have a Vigilance creature back. Regardless of what they do from there on out, we have a Deep Cavern Bat to maybe do something well. We might end up actually throwing it in the graveyard regardless, because we're going to mill it over with the tortoise. So I guess throwing it's probably the best option. But then maybe play another tortoise later, or play the Nissa and just continue to grow my board. We only have 1 forest, so holding the Nissa doesn't make a whole lot of sense in the long run. But regardless, we just brick walled the aggro deck, and that's what happens. Who goes first? Our hand's pretty solid, right? Cottage, Swamp, Dino, Wish, Dread Knight we want to play, or Shieldred's Edict if we have to, and then Decklist probably lead off with a Glissa after. We'll see what's happening. We'll see what's popping. Blue white can mean a lot of things. Bat draw is actually kind of nice. We can figure out a lot of info this way. Now, there's a Thalia. It's either blue white control, which Thalia definitely takes that out of the picture. We'll put in a bat. We'll just take a look, see if they got any. Oh, never mind. It is control. My bad. Yeah, that seems like a weird. You have a weird plan, opponent. I'm gonna be honest with you. I guess we just take the Get Lost, the only one they can really play right now. I should. No? Good. So now I just play a deck lane and I play Glissa, I suppose. Back? They can Enganja this if they want. I'm cool with that. Overall. Playing this as in our deck, we just want them to run out of cards. We don't necessarily care how it happens. Then they're going to knockout blow this. Like, if they're going to do it anyway, I might as well protect my life total. I think they're just trying to get value out of their knockout blow, which is perfectly fine with me. You prevent my damage. I call it a day. We do this. Get Lost is creature enchantment planeswalker. I guess we just play tortoise and hope it hits in time. Oh, another manland's actually massive. And we have another forest in there, so if we get to attack with the tortoise, we automatically get a land back. This is to flash in an Emperor and plus. So no, I'll just take the damage. It's fine. Yeah. Really fine with me. You could talk to him and get it back. That'd be kind of cool. But we don't have to do that anytime soon. We'll just play this. We'll just Virtue here. We'll play Sentinel, a Vigilance creature that, guess what, Wandering Emperor cannot deal with. And the 2/2s tend to be too small. Oh, sick. I would like to move to combat, opponent. Attack. I deal 3, yes. We play around Counterspell because they already shown that they were a weird deck, like comparatively. Let's do this. Maybe they'll remove it. This one more time. Just kind of draw cards here, just fill up our hand, and as soon as it's a spell that we want, we'll just cycle the Dread Knight and draw it. No? You're done? Okay. We go first. We have a bat on turn 2. And another bat on turn 3. Oh, sure. Play a cottage. See what they're about. Ooh, black. Okay. See what we can't look at. A bat themselves. I don't really care. They're going to take the Anointed with Affliction. And I'll just play another bat. Schooner is honestly awkward for us to deal with. I'll just take the bat. Schooner doesn't do anything without a creature. So regardless. We can play a Schooner here and we'll just call it a day. And then we can exile it later with an Anointed. Because it will be a creature that's 2 mana or less. Ah, Glissa. What a nice play it would have been. Just right here on curve if we would have got it. But obviously we can't draw a Glissa and a land at the same time. 2 Shellies. 2 Shellies indeed. Just take other Schooner, I guess. Attack. 1 Shieldred will be fine. Glissa will make it a little bit awkward. Shieldred's to like kind of live on this board. The Gix is good. Sure. Might be one of the few games we're probably gonna get outpaced, which does suck overall. You have to block here so they don't draw as many cards. I think they'll just draw here if I let this go through. Then Deep Cavern Bat comes down next turn, and that's also a problem. Boys, I think I block. Land pretty good for me, I would say. I'm gonna play a Glissa. Definitely attacking here. Glissa has first strike, so even if they try to do some shenanigans here, Glissa can first strike the Gix. We won't have to worry about it as much. They can bat me if they'd like. It'll just get a Sentinel or Anointed with Affliction. If they don't take the Anointed, then it's like, well, what are you doing from here? There's Shieldred. They get aggressive. Seem not. Yes. Team, what happened? Help. My opponent's being a silly goose. We'll play Liliana. -2 here. They've already shown that they want to get a Shieldred down, so I assume their next play is going to be a Shieldred regardless. At least you would think. Bringing up the Schooner seems
Haven't you ever heard
questionable, I guess? Maybe not questionable, but regardless. I'm a little surprised by it. Knowing they already have a Shieldred, I mean, I understand you have another Schooner, but I guess that allows you to double spell. Maybe that's the reason. An Anointed has to be the take. A Schooner? Sure. Stage you, good draw. You have a legendary creature in play, so let's play Sentinel. Activate here. Let's put it on this. The reason why, so it can. Worst case scenario, it's big enough to take out the Schooner. Best case scenario, puts another land in our hand to discard. But we will plus here. What are you going to get rid of? I get rid of my Sentinel or my Besage? I think it has to be Sentinel. Because then I can Besage you their Schooner next turn. And then play the Tortoise that's on the top of my library. Get rid of that. That makes sense. No attacks. I think the longer right now as this game goes on, because realistically they actually don't have a card in hand. Well, they do now, of course, but the Shieldred does nothing regarding what's happening right now. And then what can be really funny, of course, is if this... Okay. Raw. Get our torch down. Oh boy, what is the absolute play here? What would they get rid of though? Would be the bat. Guess we possibly just do the plan we talked about. Skinner's not really doing a ton. Get rid of this. I feel like they have to get rid of Shieldred. Then it's like somewhat concerning because now it's like, what do they have? If they drew a counter spell, that's going to be really clutch for them. Sure. Now we know we have Boseiju in there, so we are going to accelerate to some extent. Then to some degree, I kind of just want to attack with the bat because if they trade it off and they play another bat, then Liliana minus is a little bit better. But I don't have a reach creature. They're holding back regardless, so I'll just pass. You have a flash creature? Maybe you do. You just won't show me. You're holding for Liliana discard. Now we're in that sweet spot where we actually have no cards in hand. Our opponent's mana is a little strained. And every card we pretty much draw from here on out, we're just going to be able to play. So now we get to do something really sweet. We're going to cut down your bat. And then we'll activate Liliana. And then whenever they try to crew, which looks like they're going to crew now, which then will Anointed Affliction the Schooner. Yeah, so that's gone. Anointed Affliction, Schooner. Then we'll minus Liliana. Then like only thing I can think of that's bad here is like a Tidebinder maybe. Could also flash in a creature regardless. Now we take their entire board off. We won't attack with this bat just in case, but I will be attacking with everything else. I can't think of a card that really punishes this. Not sure. I mean, just go for the throat in general, yeah. Didn't know it was a problem, but I think Blossoming Tortoise might be more so, in my opinion. Because it is just giving us value repeatedly. Who doesn't like more value? We will draw a card and lose a life. Doing a lot of that, you know. You hit a land, which means we get to play it this turn, which is really sweet. Then we can activate this map. Just target. Deep Cavern Bat's kind of a target already, but sure, why not? Try to get out of cut down range. Maybe they'll do it now, and then their play will be play a bat into our empty hand. Just like fine. Yep. Their turn is play bat here. Like, I'm perfectly okay with that. Because our turn's going to be bring up both man lands and just shove them. Alright, Liliana plus.
Don't overthink things.
You're holding cards. The swamp, so we know they have a bat left. Bring up one. Bring up the other. I ship them. I don't know if it matters. Gonna take out a couple of things. Then where you are attacking with 16 power in total. You shut out our opponent. That's why I don't understand not playing the bat. Like, can't minus anyway. Here with Liliana, it's like play the bat down. Give yourself a little bit more protection if you can. Maybe you can draw into something. They even drew a land. You could have played both cards. Then I don't know if you have an out. Like Gix commands like fine, but I don't think you have an out to this regardless. I'm just saying optimal play, I guess. Who goes first? I think your hand's fine. The green source is a little complicated, but might be fine. Domain it is. Ugh. Play a cottage. Might just be Bant control, which is probably worse. Well, looking a lot like Bant Control. Bad. Oh my. I don't think there's a world in which we win. I mean, I don't have a black mana. That's a binding my bat, I guess. I guess take out their mana dork for a turn. This allows them to do it like a turn early. Their mana's kind of complicated. That does suck for them regardless of what they do. Anointed is going to be so tough for us to keep up with. Combat. Attack. I think we actually have to just draw a card. That's good. Ish. Oh, we're in so much trouble. Oh, they missed a land drop. Let's go. Leyline Binding tough. Make it complicated. Now I think with missing a land drop, I think we're going to see a higher chance that they prioritize taking this bat off the field than playing a mana dork, which we will then anoint it with Affliction. Yep, here comes the binding to take the bat. I think they're craving a mana source. Doesn't make binding any cheaper, so if they play the Bramble Familiar, they actually can't binding anything, which is funny. Because binding is, they have a white, blue, and green, so it's 3 less. Yeah, okay, so I'm not crazy. We have to do this. They are missing black and red. We just take a turn and set up Tortoise so we can get a lot of attacks in. Or do I just play this? Actually, I think I play the most damage if I'm going to play something. Let's play here. Let's go here. Get this out of here. They don't play a lot of board wipes in this variation of the deck. So I'm just in. I'm just in there. I should have probably played the Foundry, because Foundry would only been 1 mana to activate with our Tortoise. So it's kind of like a little bit of a miscommunication with my brain and my hands, where I wanted to do one thing, but I was thinking the other thing. It goes first. Our hand is pretty reactive, but solid at the same time. The bat can kind of take a troublesome card. Glissa can kind of hold the fort. Liliana can minus if needed. So we'll give it a shot here. Big, like, maybe, I mean, obviously it depends on the matchup, but like a go for the throat or something to give ourselves a little bit more just instant speed protection would be nice. Not instant speed, but enough, I think. This is one of the problems with Glissa in this matchup. Lightning Strike and a lot of other things like combat, playing with fire is just enough to get this off the board. I guess like that fits the 2-for-1 category that we like, so I guess that's not actually that relevant. Anointed, good. That's instant speed interaction that we like. We wait and anointed something? Like maybe they monster trade something here? Yeah, I guess so, right? Then we just virtue whatever's left. One of the few times in a long time I'm going to be like, cut down is going to be fantastic. Kind of also the answer for like a Godric potentially, because Godric could be a lot of damage here. Pass, back, pass. This off the board, they'll monster trade something else. Always the hard part when a mono red player knows to not get too greedy in the situation like this, because whatever they would have targeted, we would have then did it. Let's just play with fire. Okay. Not too opposed with that. 1 scry, sure. Now we have scry to the bottom, kind of a good sign, I suppose. This. Yes. Is it Glissa? Have Glissa take a lightning strike and then virtue something? I think so, because if they don't lightning strike, then Glissa is just a really good blocker. Also, if they get to attack, it can blow up the Kamano. I think it's just going to get hit with the lightning strike here. But the risk you got to take sometimes. Either Preacher or the Sentinel would have been better in this spot. Glissa. we're on the play, maybe it's a different scenario. Well, actually, that probably works out best case scenario for us to an extent. Like, obviously not great, but -3 here. Now we can attack, maybe blow up this Kamano. Yeah, they're gonna block with Kamano regardless. Don't double block, please. Okay. It hits. We were gonna blow up the Kamano regardless, so that was kind of our thought process there. It did scry to the bottom. 5th land. That's tough. It's tough. We take another hit. They're gonna lightning strike this Glypha. No, but we can't, of course, draw a land now, so it doesn't matter, I guess, in the long run of things. But here, I'm gonna play a Lily. I'm gonna minus regardless, because the last thing I want to happen is to plus and get blown out by them, like lightning striking something. But take their creature off the board. Blister's gonna hold down the fort from any haster. If it can.
Your friends has to leave.
Yeah, I would love to draw a card, but I just don't think I can. Yeah, there's that lightning strike. Now, realistically, they're gonna have a spell off the top. Oh my god, a devastating one. That. Oh man, that's so tough. It's just lightning strike. Oh, play with fire. I want to get Lily off the board as well. I don't know about that. I get it, but I also just don't know about it. Well, play the thing that can trade, I guess. Maybe if they reveal information to us, like they just turbo their land into play. I didn't think we'd get lucky. Are we winning if we block? Like, how devastating is a Gix command here to give us Tortoise lifelink? Is this copium? Is this like hoping? I just don't see another way to win. I mean, if bad doesn't do it, this is kind of like the only thing it can do it. That was my creature. I get lightning strike. I mean, this also guarantees I don't lose. Yes. I'm just gonna block. Ah, it snapped off. Ah, it's a land. Do have another land in here. I can't play 2 creatures with what's currently at stake. I'll play another tortoise, and then I'll get a land, and then I can attack with a cottage. Plus bring it up. But if this gets lightning strike and they attack with a foundry, I guess I still don't lose that way. I mean, let's play another tortoise. It's crazy to think that I had so many more cards in hand than my opponent, but like I'm on the back foot of all things. Yeah, they just now realize that their foundry is holding priority. I don't think they were intentionally slow rolling. It's just like a circumstance thing where they didn't realize like, oh yeah, I can't do anything with the foundry. Like it does nothing, but in theory it actually doesn't. What's this last card? It does kind of suck that that gamble actually would have paid off if we didn't block. Best case scenario? Actually? Weirdly enough, I think. I mean, it has to be like best case scenario, right? And now we can get these out of the way and give this massive amount of lifelink. It's only 2 counters, I guess. It's like 5 life, but that sets me at 9. Yeah, I like that a lot. We get these creatures off the board. I gain a lot of life. Yeah, we're gonna do that. 1/1 and lifelink. Destroy each creature with power 2 or less. We'll give our tortoise, make it pretty large. And we'll go to combat. We'll hit for 9. And we have a Boseiju guaranteed in our yard. We'll bring it back. And then we'll play a Deep Cavern Bat as like a backyard reassurance card. So escaping mono red, kind of wild there, but what you gonna do? Well, outro. We find ourselves here once again, removing Shieldred the Gathering from our Magic Golgari deck. And again, I end up doing well. And I don't necessarily think that removing Shieldred is the reason for that or anything like that. I really think it is loading up on these early game plans, like early stuff that we can double spell on turn 4 if we hit the lands. It's the Anointed with Afflictions, it's the Deep Cavern Bat to stagger, and Liliana to come in after the bat to make sure like any other problems that we need dealt with are handled. And then the Mosswood Dread Knight, of course, doing the same value thing it's always done. We're constantly doing well. Where Shieldred, as good as it is, I mean, my argument is you could replace Glissa with Shieldred potentially, because my argument for Glissa is a really good brick wall. I think Glissa is a really solid, like, here's my creature, try to attack me if you will. Whereas, like, Shieldred is kind of the same thing, but Shieldred has a bigger butt on it. So if you're running against aggro, maybe just make the 2-for-2 swap if you'd like. They haven't missed Shieldred that much, I think. There's been like, and I know how good it can be in those mono red matchups, things like that, but it's just weird. I don't know. I've been playing games with this version of the deck and other like kind of similar things just without Shieldred. I've not missed it, I guess. Hopefully that's like coming off right. Where it's like in best of 3, of course, like in the matchups where they're a little bit slower or they like kind of take out some of their aggression if you're playing against aggro decks, Shieldred can definitely buy some time. But I know Shieldred can brick wall a lot of decks, but this version kind of does the same thing. The Sentinel's generally good enough to brick wall. It just doesn't gain life, but it gets massive, has vigilance, dodges the Wandering Emperor, so I don't have to hold it back. I think there was a game we saw where they had a Wandering Emperor in hand and we're just like, attack you with the Sentinel. And if it was a Shieldred or something similar, like, we can't attack with it there. We have to just kind of hold it and hope that they'll play it for some other reasons so they won't have like that instant speed interaction. And then the Preacher, it was 3 Glissa and 2 Preacher. I went up to 3 Preacher and down to 2 Glissa because the 4 toughness has seemed to be more and more valuable as these games kind of stretch on more and more, and serving that same purpose of why I like Graveyard Trespasser so much is taking additional cards out of our opponent's hand to remove our threats and not allowing them to get value off of just removing it cleanly like they can with our Glissa. I've almost got to the point that Glissa might become Graveyard Trespasser if I still continue to not play Shieldred. I definitely can see the argument like, Brick, you have to fit Shieldred back in. Cut the Edict or something, trim a Nissa, like, do that. But I like the way we curve in this stack. I like the way that Sentinel kind of helps provide us extra lands. I like the way that Blossoming Tortoise can always kind of hit lands. We have like the ones that we can kind of blow up something or find a creature if we need to, if our hand's not good enough anymore, and then get them back with the Blossoming Tortoise later. And just having that big output repeatable threat on the top end with Nissa that works so well at times along with the Virtue. I'd like being down 2 Virtues instead of playing like the 4 and bringing it back and things like that. Having Nissa be a solid card as well. I don't feel like we're overstacked in any place that would be bad for us. I think we have pretty reasonable cards, especially in the removal category where it's like 2 cut down, 2 of this, and like 1 of these. So if you want to kind of see it a little bit better, and then like Liliana can kind of pick up any shenanigan things that we need, and then we have this Gix come in, and you can argue like this Virtue's over here as well, or maybe sometimes we'll just hard cast it from hand, who knows. But the way this deck has kind of curved and played like really well with itself, like synergy wise, has played phenomenally with like the Sentinel being able to do whatever we want, and also the map tokens this makes, and having the Mosswood Dread Knight. Sadie, why are you attacking me? We went out and potted. We did everything else. What do you want? What do you want? I know you want attention. You hear me talking to nobody. What? Sorry, my dog is craving attention right now. But when the deck plays and the cards lead into one another, I like a ton. And I could be wrong. Maybe Shieldred is supposed to be in the deck, but People won the challenge without it. Most deck lists you see in best of 3 actually have the shielders in the sideboards. I know best of 1's a different beast, and you can't really do that as much if you want to play that card in the main. I just think sometimes it's just not necessary. I think being more consistent on these 3 drops and consistently applying threats that are quite troublesome overall, or like just overall annoying, is actually good enough. Because Shieldred just becomes, maybe to some games, a win more, some games the absolute savior. But a lot of times it ends up just kind of feeling like, you know what I'm saying? But I could be wrong on this take. I might die on this hill. Who knows? But outside of that, that's all I got. I hope you all enjoyed. My dog is crying for some reason. I'm not sure why, but I'm going to have to go figure that out. So I hope you all enjoyed watching, and I'll catch you all later in the next one. Probably Golgari again. You know how it be. But thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all later.